you doing? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'll move here. That's fine. I'll get our fans' comments in.
I'm gonna be lazy. I'm gonna sit while I film.
Yeah.
Screw it.
I sit all day. All right, folks, we're live for another edition of the Osgood Richmond Romans U14 hockey team. Tonight playing with the Peon Raiders. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, please. All right, folks, we got 4 viewers now. Please confirm you can hear me by giving me a thumbs up. Oh, I got a thumbs up. People can hear me, Lance. I think we're good. All right, folks, we're here. We're live. For our nationwide audience tonight to watch your Osgood Richmond Romans take on the Peon Raiders. A rematch of an earlier season matchup, which saw Nepean come out on top. I don't remember what the score was, but it was a close game. The Romans, coming off a decisive 6-2 win on Saturday night in Richmond against the Canada Blazers. Hoping to continue some of that success here tonight in Manitou. Starting in goal tonight for your Romans is none other than Zach. Our starting lineup is Eric the Main Man Malfoy, Bryce Hogg, and Carter Perry. On defense, Ewan Potts and Wes Thomas. And the official face-off just like the official first pitch, is happening tonight at 7:06 p.m. Face-off controlled by the Raiders. Regroup at their blue line, dump it to the Romans. Now reverse play where Ewan up to Eric. Eric can't handle the pass. Flipped in on goal. Okay. Back to the Romans blue line. Over to West. West over to Eric. A nice cross-ice pass. Picked up by Bryce. Almost picked up by Bryce and then shot down. No icing as Bryce touched it into the Nepean corner. Hit late by Carter. A little bit of physicality here early for the Romans. Back to Max. Max over to Lucas Medinsky. Lucas back to Max. Some good puck movement here. Max chips it in and is going to be pursued by Jonah. Hard on that puck. Jonah can't quite pick that up, and it's now up to the Raiders player who chips it to the far side, and he's pursued by Lucas, who lays a nice body check on the boards. Good clean check to knock him off the puck. There goes Jonah up to Isaac. Isaac shot in on goal. Nice first shot for the Romans, and now chipped back to the blue line, but right to the Raiders player. Jonah, blind backhand pass, puts it right on the player's stick, but luckily Lucas gets it. And a good shot, and good save by the Raiders goalie. Tonight's first period brought to you by one of our many Roman sponsors, including Anderson Farms. For all your meat and beef needs, Anderson Farms. Face-off controlled by Nepean behind the net, pursued by Connor, now pursued by Jack. Jack picks up the puck, gets it to Connor, and Connor. Connor takes a look out front, can't quite connect on that pass to Griff. And now 3-on-2 back the other way with Griff in hot pursuit. Brody cuts him off at the pass and over there. Dean behind the net over to Griff. Griff can't into Connor's skates. Connor can't quite corral it. And now here we got Dean. Kicks it up, forces his way up through the blue line, and now to the Nepean player. Connor finishes his check over to Dean. Dean up to Griff. Griff across the ice, makes it onto Jack Stick eventually, and now it's in. Puck shot around. Griff is going to pick that up. He doesn't. He keeps it on his stick. Had everybody fooled there. He thought he was going to cycle it. Tries to cycle it down to Jack. Now gets it to Jack. Now gets it to Connor. Connor tries to get that over to Jack. Can't quite connect on that pass. Into the corner. Jack to Griff. Back to Connor. Connor muscles his way through that. He bounces out the puck. Connor takes another check. There's two players there who crowd Connor, leaving that puck out there, but now good stick by Dean to get that puck off his stick. He was shooting down. Dean can't quite get it past the referee. Sorry, folks. And now, over there. Nepean Raiders defenseman, he's going to cycle it up through, but caught quickly by Carter. Carter knocked down into his own, into the corner. Back. West kicks it around onto the Raiders stick. Passed out front, can't connect, and now Eric's going to connect. He's knocked off the puck. Steve politely asking Eric to maybe pick up that puck. And chips back in. Wes is going to pick it up. He's around the net. He's got he chips it right over to Eric. Eric on the boards. Chipped out by Bryce. Right. There's Nepean. They're carrying out of their zone. 2-on-2 with support. West, and now knocked off the puck, and still continues to go. Somehow that puck has stayed out. Somehow he got through, and somehow it stayed out. It's a bit of a adventure and misfortune there for the Romans. Now it's chipped out. Carter takes that stick. Another blind backhand pass. Boys, maybe should try doing something different than that. Now here comes Jonah. He's going to chip it in and then go hard after it. Good hard forecheck by the Romans. Good hard check by Isaac. Chipped around. There's Carson. Lucas. Now we got a one-on-one the other way. Max in on Max. He dances around Max. Still can't quite get the puck. Raiders are there. Oh, and well played by Lucas to keep that puck out of our net. Carson's punched in the corner and he's slow to get up, and now he bounces up and the Romans are out with it. Isaac's going to get that puck, and there's Carson coming down this side. Bit of a line change for the Romans. Shot on net from Isaac. We had to handle that one carefully. And now the Raiders come back the other direction. Good stick by Max to knock it off the stick and break up that rush. And now he goes behind the net to make that play. Now there's Connor. He up to Carson. It can't quite connect on that pass, but Carson chips it out past him. And now, couldn't find the puck. There it goes. Oh, makes its way over to Isaac. Isaac's going to get a shot. Connor's there for the rebound. Can't quite connect on that. There's Connor. Nobody in front. It's hard to sometimes tell the difference with their Nepean Raiders' white shoulders and the Romans' white jerseys, but the boys are going to have to figure that out. And now chipped into the Roman zone by Raiders. 9:17 left in the first period. Not a lot of whistles so far. Griff's there. He's working it out. Connor couldn't quite figure out how to move that one, and now it's held by Zach. And we're going to have a line change. 9:06 left in the first period. Which is now we're on the draw. We've got Eric, Bryce, and Carter. Brody, shoulders in there. Dean's in front of the net. Dean goes now behind to pick it up. He circles it back to Brody behind the net. Good puck movement there by the Roman C, and up and out of the ice, and another third line backhand pass of the night. There goes Eric. He's going to carry it in. Eric with a shot on net. Romans have had a few shots. They've all been from outside, but they're putting the goalie to work, and a couple of them have landed up in rebounds. 8:46 left in the first period. Bryce to take the draw. Bryce wins it back cleanly to Dean. Dean off the player's shin pad, even with a shin pad that might have hurt. And there's Bryce now to pick it up. The Romans are looking pretty hard here tonight, and they seem to have their legs about them, which is good to see. A requirement against a strong Nepean team. Dean wins up at him to keep it in the blue line. The boys are coming up with it. And turned over to Bryce, who shoots it back in, and the boys are going to forecheck again. You get a progressive line change here. Nice move by the Raiders defenseman to move that puck out, and now they're going in 2-on-2. But back checked hard by Jonah. Oh, and that took a bit of a run at Jonah. He decided that it's a good idea to try and take a diving body check, but Jonah kind of saw that coming and moved out of the way and made that player look a little bit safe. There's the puck back to West. West over to Ewan. Not over to Ewan. That knee fool. Nice little play there. Couldn't quite connect. Now here's the Nepean player. He's going to come in hard. He's going to move it to the wing, and Ewan's going to finish his check. Back to the blue line. Shot. Blocked by West. And there's Carson. Up to Isaac. Good end-to-end action here. A shot by... Oh, I think the referee thought that was covered, but it wasn't. So we have a stoppage in play with 7:21 left in the first period. Face off one by Nepean, a nice save by Zach, low blocker. Connor's on the boards, he chips it out. There's Griff. And we've got Griff and Jack on a 2-on-1. Griff sees Jack. Oh, well played. And Jack turns and fires. A nice play by the defenseman to take that pass away. It was a good play by Griff. There goes Jack. And, oh, just missed. Jack with a shot on net. So generating some action here now. Jack tipping around the corner and couldn't quite. Kind of was right upside against the net and wasn't much of a passing option on that one. But now they're dancing around that. Missed for a rebound and it's a goal. Tough play. We had a couple of really good chances at the other end. Only to turn it around and go the other way, and a shot and a rebound. No chance for Zach on that one. 1-0 for the Raiders. Eric, Bryce, Carter, with Dean and Brody. Brody chips it up, doesn't quite make it to Carter, and now it's jumped in, and there goes the player pursuing Dean. He knocks Dean and plays him well. Hard to knock Dean off the puck. The player recognized that and just got his body into him. Brody picks up the puck now. Brody around the boards to Carter. Carter controls it. Back over to Dean. Up to Bryce. Can't get it out. Get it out again. It's up in there. It's bobbling around a little bit. And there goes the puck into the corner. Chipped behind the net. Over to Dean. Can't quite make it out. And now they go back after it again. Well, blocked by Dean there, and Dean knocks his own player over. Now here goes Carter. He's got a little bit of a burst of speed here. He stops up. He takes the shot off the player's shin pad. There goes Bryce. He's back to Carter. Carter tries a hard low-angle shot. Didn't work. Ewan back into the behind the net to Carter. Carter's looking for an option. Can't play C, and misses West on that pass. Now it's one-on-one against Ewan. 2-0 for the Raiders. After a pretty strong start here by the Romans, they seem to have their legs about them, but find themselves behind 2-0 with 5:17 left in the first period. 2 chips in a row and 2 goals for the Raiders. Romans going to have to figure out a way to turn the tide back in their favor. Jonah, Carson, and Isaac on the far side. Up one knock to Max. Max carries it around, chips it behind the net, picked up by Lucas. Oops, sorry, folks. Lucas, there he muscles his way up through. He's bounced off the puck, but continues on. A whole bunch of players on that far side, and McKeon comes out with it. Well, that's probably offside. Certainly it is. .453 left in the first. 2-0 for McKeon. There goes Isaac. There goes knocked off the puck by Jonah. Back to Max. Max off the boards. Didn't connect with Carson on that pass. That's off the referee. And again, a pile of players here. And Carson comes up with it. And Carson's knocked off the puck. Into the corner on the boards. There's Carson. He comes up with it. He's got Isaac in front. Carson's going to try and dance out front and lost it off his stick, but a good effort there. Line change here. .426 left in period number 1. 2-0 for the Raiders. Connor to take the draw. Won by the Raiders. They've got a set face-off play that doesn't work. It's straight to Griff. Griff shoots, and it scores. A goal by Connor. Face-off play where the Raiders defenseman was meant to kind of chip that up to the far side to the streaking winger, but it hit off Jack or Griff, who was there. Knocked it down, shot on net, rebound picked up by Connor. And puts it in the net, turns that puck over, and 2-1. So good bit of hard work and fortune there. and he's cut the lead in half. Dean up to Griff. Griff knocks it down again. He's got some good hand-eye coordination tonight, apparently. There's Connor with a shot. Handled easily by the Raiders goalie. 4:08 left, 2-1 for the Raiders. Connor to take the draw with Griff and Jack and Dean and Brody. There's one controlled, but now picked up by Griff. Griff for a shot on net, and it's a goal! Very quickly, this line has turned it around after surrendering the first goal a couple of shifts ago, actually on their last shift. They now turn themselves into +1 and tie this game up. I think it's right. I think it's time for a line change. Quit while you're ahead, boys. But now, tie game 2-2 with 3 minutes and 59 seconds left in the first period. Bryce, Eric, Carter, Ewan, and Wes. Wes goes back, gets that puck, hits it into the other player. Ewan plays around behind the net. He sees Eric. Eric sees Carter across the ice, a little bit behind him, but Carter cycles it back. Eric was looking for a penalty there, but he fell in around. Wanted the referee to call that, but wasn't going to. There he goes now. And trying to look for a breakaway pass with the Raiders player. A little bit happy and slashy along the boards there, but Carter comes up with it. He shoots it in. Picked up by the big Nepean defenseman. He fires it off the boards to nobody. There's Eric. Now he dumps it in. Pursued by Carter. Carter bumps him a little bit. He didn't want to get something behind. Eric makes it check. That's a clean hit. A nice clean hit by Eric. And Eric decided to stop and admire his hit there, or talk to the puddle. Chipped back. There goes Wes. He keeps it in. Shot up and shot down the ice. No icing going to be called on this one. Ewan's pursued by the team player, and a good play by Ewan. I don't know if he meant to do that, but he did. Up to Eric. And Eric dumps it in. No icing there, and now we're going to get a line change. Isaac's in. Lucas backs off there. It's probably a good play because they were breaking it out, and now he's turned over to Carson, and that player decided he was going to really wind up on that one against Carson, but no way for there. Carson loses the puck. Ship for Max. Max falls over, and we got a narrow angle shot. Isaac again with another backhand pass. Didn't quite connect with anybody, but rescued there by Zach. 2:03 left in the first period. Connor to take the draw. Off to the right of Zach. Griff picks it up. A nice face-off play there. Good read by Griff, and he's going to pursue, and he's going to bounce around it, but doesn't look like it. And then the puck is chipped out of play by the Nepean defenseman. In the NHL, that would be a penalty. But, as we know, this is not the NHL. Dean, Brody, Connor, Jack, Griff. Picked up by Griff. Back along the boards. Brody controls the puck off the referee's skate. Back to Dean. Dean chipped off. Up to Jack. Jack ends up with it. Connor. Go to Jack. Jack doesn't see him. Sees him. And a goal. Eventually he saw him. Everybody else saw him there. The other team saw him there. Couldn't do anything about it. And finally Jack saw him there. And that was the most important person on the ice. Or in the rink. You see Griffin standing wide open, and this line gets their third goal of the night on a beautiful hard work passing play. 3-2 for the Romans. Bryce, Eric, Carter, Dean, Brody, Dean up the boards to Eric. Eric crunch, takes a hit, keeps on going, and Eric lays a hit now. Good hit by Eric. And we got a no icing call over to Brody. Brody chips it up to Carter. He picks it up with some speed. Now he's going to try and wheel by him. And no offside, very close. And then the Raiders turn it back the other way. So Eric in hard back check. Over to the Raiders player over here. He passes it over. A good stick lift by Brody. Got to have a little bit harder effort there to get that puck, fellas. Over into the corner. There goes Dean. He's going to chip it up to Eric. Oh, he can't quite chip it past him. Good idea. Now Dean's going to carry it up. Gets around this player. Dean with a good, hard, quick shot off the goalie's shoulder. And we've got a Raiders player injured on the far side. They're going to blow the whistle down. He was injured after he tried to hit Dean and bounced off him and went into the boards a little awkwardly. Face-off should be in the Raiders' end here. Or it's there. Just outside the Raiders' zone. That's where the puck was when the whistle was blown. Jonah, Isaac, and Carson. Pursued hard by Isaac. Well done. Oh, almost a tip in by Carson. Just stuck his stick out there and couldn't quite get on it, but a really nice play. Throwing the puck at the net, and good things will happen sometimes. Over to Carson. Carson, always really good at handling that puck. He's knocked down, hit from behind, or hit somehow. That's going to result in a penalty. So there goes Zach to the bench. Raiders touch it, and we're going to end up with a Romans power play with 12.4 seconds left in the first period. Jonah, Carson, and Isaac on the ice with Potsy and Wes. There's Wes. He handles it to the boards. Shot. Oh, controlled. Ewan is going to keep that puck in. Well done. Shoot. Oh, just and at the end of the first period, it's the Romans 3, the Raiders 2. After a couple of quick in quick succession by the Raiders on two shifts in a row, the Romans responded back on one shift to get two of them back, and then score another one on the next shift after that. Again, this first period was brought to you by many of our sponsors, some of which I can remember, some of which I cannot. One of them being Anderson Farms. I'd also like to have a nice shout out tonight to Boombox Fitness. In attendance here tonight to watch the boys and see how their off-ice training is measuring up. So a big thanks to the folks at Boombox and all the great work that they do with the boys. And in the village of Richmond. If we can call it the village of Richmond anymore. Town of Richmond? Community of Richmond? With a minute 48 left in the Raiders penalty, it's started the second period. We've got Griff, Connor, Jack, Max, and Lucas. Max, nice pass to Griff. Connor breaks it out. He's going to carry in. We have to keep his head up. He gets it into the zone. They gain possession here. Griff bumped in the corner. Need two men on that puck on the power play, fellas. There goes Lucas. He dipsy doodles and dances around. Shot on net. Tangled by the goalie. Connor was trying to slip his stick into the goalie to try and knock that puck out, but that didn't quite work. So we're going to have a line change here. A whole fresh new set of players. We've got Bryce, Eric, and Carter, and Brody, and Dean. And there's Brody at the point. We're going to shoot the puck off the shin pads into the sand. Took a little bit of time to line that one up, and that's where it landed. Bryce to take the draw here. Same set of fellows on the ice for the Romans. Bryce wins that draw cleanly back. Nice one with a strong-handed winger. Better shot that time by Brody. That made it all the way through and almost connected with Eric. Eric into the corner. He comes up with the puck over to Bryce. Bryce behind the net. Bryce taking a look. He sees Eric behind the net. Carter out front, almost tripped there. Cycling around behind the net. There's Eric back to Dean. Wasn't quite on his stick. And now they're going to have to turn and go the other way pretty quickly to back check on this one. Chipped back to the Raiders line, and Romans are going to take that puck, regroup, and break it out of their zone with Brody carrying it up. Nobody on the far side. And shot down by the Raiders. Picked up by Dean behind the net. He carries it out. Up to Carter somehow. Made his way there. A little toe drag. He shoots, and that almost slipped its way through the goalie's pads. But closed his legs just in time and made that save. Zoom in here a little bit, folks. See if I can give you a bit of a closer view. Jonah, Isaac, Carson. Carson, who drew that initial penalty, he's going to come make that, try and jam it in between the legs. Couldn't quite get there. Nice try. Had two options there. One was the play he made, the other was the pass to Isaac. Both were good options. Didn't quite capitalize on that. Jonah take the draw again. 5 seconds left in the penalty. Carson, back to Ewan. Ewan can't handle up the line, and it just slides out. Back to Carson. No worse for wear. Carson's going to take that in himself. He's going to chip that into the corner. Good hit by Jonah. Just bumps him off the puck. Jonah's not really like that guy. Carson trips. I don't think he was tripped. I think he just tripped. And there's Isaac. Nice play back to West. West, hard shot off about 2-6. Chips up high into the corner. Carson's pursuing that one. Pursued by Jonah. Jonah's got a stick in there. Be careful. Drops the stick. Smartly did that. Oh, Isaac was going to the net, and he was knocked down by the other player. And with speed, dances around. And a goal by the Raiders. Had some speed up to the neutral zone. Tough to contain that when you got to have a speed all the way from the opposition to your own blue line. And it's a 3-3 tie tonight. Connor, Griff, Jack, Max, and Lucas. Connor wins it back to Lucas. Lucas up to Jack. Jack can't quite handle it. Now he does. He carries it in. He goes into the corner hard after that puck. There's Jack. Still got that puck. Still got the puck. Still got the puck. Can't quite get it out front of the net to Connor. Connor's high in the slot. Griff's behind the net. Griff's got it. Connor's calling for it. Griff now shoots it back to Lucas, who's on his offhand on this side. Can't quite handle it. Griff gets back hard. Nice play by Griff. Sorry, guys. Here we are right here. There's Lucas with the puck. Lucas over to Jack. Jack comes up with it. Shot hard. Save. Connor tries to baseball swing that out of the air. And he picked the wrong sport today. $11:52 left in the second period. 3-3 tie. Face-off controlled by the Raiders, but pursued by Carter. Carter wins the puck. Carter's not going to get it back to the point, but he chips in the corner. Now Carter ends up with it. He's going to shoot hard. Oh. Shot. Hard shot into the Romans bench. Almost nailed Coach Scott. Nice reflexes there by the fellas. Face off won by the Romans, but then controlled by the Raiders. And they just shot it into the corner, but somehow they ended up with that. Good check by Bryce. Dean, he's got his heads up. He flips it up to Eric. Eric just chip pass to Bryce. Bryce doesn't quite see Carter there. Here comes Dean with it now. Dean going to go for a little joyride here. And ultimately comes on the Carter's stick. So that one worked out well. Right way for the wrong reasons. And here comes Carter. Just misses the net. And a nice play by Carter. Danced through the other team, and now they turn around the other way. Get over the red line, and they're going to dump it in. We've got an offside call here. So Romans have a chance to generate some speed and carry it out of the zone, but we stop there. And now we back up to Carter. A nice pass. Carter couldn't quite handle that. It's just on his feet. Shot up to the square. Oh, just offside. And we're going to get an offside call here. Ooh. Face off coming all the way down here, just outside the Raiders zone. 10:33 left in the second period. 3-3 tie. Actually, that's an icing call, folks. Somebody better learn their hockey rules. That's an icing call. Here we go. Face off one by the Romans. Shot just didn't quite make it to the net. And here's Carter in pursuit. Chips off the stick and well handled by Ewan to keep him to the outside, which still ends up with the puck in the corner. Ewan's going to go and Isaac's going to make a hit there. Isaac falls. Zach stops that puck. Oh, time to maybe clean this up a little bit here, fellas. And nice to take a whistle here and regroup a bit. And we're going to get a Romans line change. It's time to try something different here. Sounds like that's what the coach is after, so. Face off. Won by the Romans. A good play by Griff again, but can't quite get the puck out of his own. He's hit by. There's Connor now. Connor's going to carry it out with a couple players in pursuit of him. Connor and Griff. Connor comes up with it. He's going to shoot. Just missed. Nice shot by Connor, but just missed there. But Jack back behind the net, but right on the stick of the Raiders player, and he's going to wheel it out of the zone, up the ice. Shot, corralled by Lucas, and Lucas is going to get it to Connor, over to Jack, and Jack quite reach it. Matt swipes at it. Ooh, Connor tries to lay a hit. We still got offside happening, and we're going to get a Romans line change. Yeah. 9:26 left in the second period, 3-3. It was a 3-3 for the Romans, but it's not 3-3 for anybody. It's a 3-3 tie. Ooh, the definition of a tie. Dean tries twice to get it out, and he does the second time. No icing call here, and in pursuit by Carter. And probably like to see a little bit better pursuit there on the part of our defenseman closing that gap, but that's okay. Brody makes a nice hit. There's Dean. Dean up the zone. Chipped, not out by Eric. Chipped by Bryce. Bryce comes not up with it. Player on the ground plays it. And there we've got, the boys are trying to fight each other for the puck now. There goes Bryce. He's going to get it to Brody. Up to Carter. Nice play. Boys are breaking the puck out pretty well tonight. They do so with some speed, which is nice to see. And there comes Eric. Eric up to Carter. Carter can't get the shot off. He's bumping around the player. There's Eric. Kind of a little bump there. Oops. High right into the corner, and now broken out by the Raiders player. Now he's got almost an odd man rush the other way. Grabbed by Brody. Brody jumps it in. Picked up by Isaac. Isaac goes in. He chips around. He loses that puck. Now picked up by Isaac again. Broken up by Carson. Carson pass to Jonah. Can't quite connect. Jonah behind the net. Picked up by the Raiders player. Oops. You don't need to see the crowd. You need to see the play. Shot out. Handled by Isaac at the top of the zone, but not so much handled. Jumped in. Romans have to touch up, and they break it up. Isaac's going to finish his check there. Nice check. And Carson's got it now. A little bouncy do over there. And Carson sees Isaac on a nice pass. Isaac skip break. My goodness. We're going to have to buy a new stick, Mom and Dad, because that can't happen. Now we're offside. Well, sometimes bad things happen to good people. And right there, Isaac's stick just broke. This period brought to you by CCM Bauer and or Sherwood. One of which is going to be a new stick for Isaac. Raiders break it out. Coming down the wing. Broken up by Griff, who's been all over the puck tonight. Griff ate his Wheaties before tonight's game. Battled with Ewan behind the net. Pursued hard. Bumped off the puck, but Raiders still end up with it. Shot off a stick. There comes Griff again. Griff can't quite get it out. Tried to be helped by Connor. Connor can't quite get it out. That needed to be a little bit more effort on that one. Ewan and the player battling in the corner. He tries to come out of it. Knocked off the puck by Connor. Off Ewan. There we go, fellas. We're going to have to try and get this puck out here. You got to go get that one. Oh, you got to go get it with a little more effort than that. That's not going to do yourself any favors or your team. There it comes out to Connor, to Jack. Jack over to Griff. I'll reserve my editorial comments for another time. Shot by West, just missed. Picked up by Bryce in the corner. There's Jack. Jack's on his own with Bryce. Can't quite get it to him. And backhanded out of the zone, and he's going to pursue this hard. With some speed. Tries to chip it out. Couldn't quite get there. Now we got picture-in-picture view here. You can see if you like the Raiders view this game better than ours. Shot down the ice. Picked up by the Raiders defenseman. Peter B. is going to look to try and break this puck out, but Eric says no. I'm going to stop you from doing that. Shot on net. Covered by the Raiders goalie. 5 minutes and 11 seconds left in the second period. A 3-3 tie. Takes off one, back to Max. Shot on net. Just saved. Now the Raiders are going to try to go in pursuit. I don't know how that wasn't icing, but it must have tipped off the stick, so he says no. Referee the linesman does, and now it's controlled by Bryce. Up to Eric. Eric, he's got Carter. Nice pass to Carter. A good lead by Carter up to the Lucas over to slash through the middle there. Eric, it was good to see him. Good play by Bryce to leave it for the defenseman coming in, but Lucas can't quite maintain that. Back to Lucas. Lucas curls. He leaves into the corner. He's going to come out. He's going to cycle with Carter. Carter is back and doesn't quite connect with Bryce. Bryce is not straight to the defense, so he stops that play, but Raiders end up with the puck into the Romans corner. We're going to take a penalty on that for somehow. I'm not quite sure how. What he's going to call that? He's going to call that. Let's just see, because that's a mysterious call, I think. 2 minutes for Besides ultimately on boarding. I think he was deciding as he was skating to the box what he was going to call that one, but boarding is the call. I've seen worse hits tonight than that. Next, that was pretty decent. Well played by Max for too bad. He's going to sit in the box for 2 minutes or less. Hopefully the Romans can pick him up here and fill off this penalty. Knocked out by Jonah down the ice. Good play there. Jonah, nice forecheck. He's got Carson there. Got to be careful not to get 2 guys deep, folks. Yeah, well done, Jonah. Don't go behind the net. And no penalty there. Maybe that was more of a penalty than that. Actually, but again, I'm not the referee. I'm just the half-assed commentator. No offside, just stayed onside. He weaves around. He's going to try and beat it, and he runs into the goalie. He was going to call a goal. I'm not quite sure how they count that as a goal. But the player ran over. The referees are going to confer here. I think the young linesman sees something that maybe the referee should have seen, because That player bowled right into Zach. I don't think you're allowed to do that. The Romans fans agree. They are calling no goal. I know I'm biased. I tend to agree. And we all agree with that. Obviously, this afternoon. If I could do instant replay, I would, but we would show you that the player drove the net hard, kept skating, went right into Zach, knocked him over, and then Zach was not in a position to make the save. Hence, the definition of a goaltender interference. I would suggest this face-off should maybe be outside now, but again, not the official of this game. So 1:09 left in the Romans penalty. Face-off taken by Connor. Won by the Raiders. Back to the Raiders' point. Off Connor's stick. Handled by Isaac. Couldn't quite get it out on his stick quickly enough. Ewan gets it up and out to Isaac. There he goes, 1-on-1 against the player. His goal here now is to get a goal, but also just keep the puck deep in their zone. The Raiders turn it back. Got two players on this side of the ice. Ewan's going to get it. He's going to hammer it off the boards and down. And Connor's going to be in hot pursuit of that puck against two Raiders players. Again, just keep that puck deep. Knocked off the puck by two Raiders, and now we're going to skate back. Broken up by Ewan. A great shift by Ewan so far. Breaking up a couple of plays here. In hot pursuit of that puck is Wes. He knocks the player into the boards. Connor knocks the player, but still on the puck. Don't want to get too tied up here on a penalty kill and take yourself out of the play. They are going to let that player walk around the net. Back to the point. Shot. And saved by Zach. A little bit of confusion in the front of the Romans net as to what was happening there. And now we've got a player who got... Oh, fellas. You had a good opportunity there, and you just didn't recognize where that puck was. So now he's going to try to get in, shoot high, off. Shouldn't have over the net. Jack's going to go into the corner. Connor's going to take it and shoot it just out of the zone. And I'm going to be tired. We are. Raiders are, and we're going to have a face-off just outside. The Raiders move on. 1:52 left in the second period. 3-3 tie. Max, who out of the penalty box now. The Raiders player clears around him, locked off by Lucas. Clears the zone on a errant pass. Right here, so I can't quite get the camera on this. So figure out my camera angle is a little bit better when I go to cinematography school. Carter. Good pass, no D-to-D pass. That was the right non-play there. Over to Eric. Eric can't quite handle that and get that quick pass off. Steve over there encouraging him on. And the Romans just leave it there for the Raiders player to pick up. So Lucas says, let me do this, folks. And he's knocked over and still inside the zone. Max knocks the puck off his stick and bounces at an odd angle off. Eric falls. But face-off got to tripped Eric. We'll have to have a look at that after. And there goes Lucas. He's going to weave up through. And Lucas says, I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to make a pass to Carter. Down in, pursued by Carter. Carter, careful for no hook. He doesn't get a hook and call. That's good. Got this stick in check. Over to Bryce. Bryce to Carter. Carter comes out, passes it back to, again, sometimes the jerseys are hard to see. On to Lucas. Carter behind the net. Carter knocks out the puck. We got two on the puck now. Eric's going to come in front. Eric's going to go high. Maybe a little lower, Eric. Now weave in down there now, Eric. Now we'll get that Lucas. Again, Steve sending words of encouragement out to Eric on the ice. Max down the ice, pick up that puck. At the end of the second period, we have a 3-3 tie. Sorry, folks are back now. Didn't miss any action. We were just trying to figure out a less wobbly camera, but it's going to require more work than the union pays, so I decided to just leave it. Isaac up out of the zone, back to Dean. Dean shot down the ice, right on the goal, so no icing. Picked up by the Raiders defenseman, up the boards, down into the zone. Picked up by Dean around to Carson, checks his shoulder, can't quite handle that puck. It's always a hard one to pick up. Dean, Jonah, back up to the point here. Slap shot, Carson, got off of Brody's shin pad. And he gets it. What a pass to Carson. He's harried there. Oh, what a play, fellas. Really nice pass. Nice pickup by Carson. Carson's knocked off the puck. And now we're going to get a penalty. Isaac's probably going to get a penalty and follow up on that one, too. I would guess they're both going to get penalties there. But we'll see. Isaac's going to get a call. Lance. Boys jamming away here. It's a 4-on-4 after all. So it's still 5-on-5, offsetting penalties. Out front. Nice goal by this line again. A fourth goal of the night. Some nice hard passing plays there. There we go. Oh. This thing was tight. For 3 Romans now. Shot back in by Wes. Pursued by Jack. Picked up by Ewan. Ewan shot on net. Almost. I think I've got a bit of a weird camera angle here. Back to Connor. Connor can't quite find Griff in front of the net. There's where Connor out front. Not picked up. Just chipped off the stick, but Jackson hard back check pursuit. He wins the puck. And then shot down the other way. This player again. Oh, held out by Griff. No goal. Second goal called off tonight for the Raiders. I think he blew the whistle beforehand, but the Raiders don't like that. That's for sure. Again, they didn't like that call, but I think it's the right one. That's twice, they say, and they are correct. It was twice, but that is the referee's call, unfortunately. There. Oh, face off in the Roman zone. Bryce to take the draw. Back to Max, run behind the net, over, picked up by Lucas. Lucas chips it up to Carter, and that's out there. Back to the DB, picked up by, and chipped in, past Max, picked up by Lucas. He's going to be checked. Lucas makes a nice play, can't quite get that pass to Eric though. Eric. And, oops, sorry folks. Battling along the boards here. Max comes up with it over to Lucas. Nice play. Lucas. Can't get it out. Now he's going to go back and pick up that puck behind the net. Pursue that player there. And Carter's going to come up with it now. Carter's got to keep his head up. He dives out of the way at just the last second. Picked up by Bryce. Bryce weaving down into the zone. Bryce up to Eric. Eric tripped up there. Correct non-call to make there. Now Eric's in pursuit. Carried out by the Nepean player up the wing, Max. Chips the puck off his stick. Picked up by the pursuing Raiders player. And now Eric can't quite get it up. Now Eric Connors got it over to nobody because Carter was there and then he wasn't. He was there and then he wasn't. Shot into the corner. Picked up by Lucas. Lucas. Nice play up to Griff. Griff's going to battle for it. Lucas kicks it off the stick. Connor's there. Can't quite get it. Attempted pass into the corner. Max pursues him. Lays a hit. Nice hit by Max. Connor's going to come up with it now. He's got Jonah. A different lineup here tonight, so I'm not sure who's up. Connor. What do we got here? We have a penalty called against the Raiders. And again, the Raiders fans don't like it. I didn't quite see it. I don't have the option of video replay here, so you do at home though. You can go check it out. Face-off taken by Jonah. Brody to Jonah. Oh, just tipped through the crease into the corner. Steve asking for two on the puck, and yes, there certainly is. Jonah or Carson knocked down. They're not going to call that one a penalty. And they're all the way down the ice. Pass up to Carson. Carson leaves at the line. Carson back to Dean. Dean with a hard shot. Well handled by the goalie there. Back. Jonah got the puck. He's going to pass to Brody. Brody over to Carson. Carson can't handle that. And we're going to almost get a break the other direction. Dean's going to go in pursuit. He's going to lay the body there. Again, the Raiders player doing his job because he just needs to keep that puck down. Jonah weaves around him, and the Romans are going to break it out. 3-on-2 the other direction, but the pass doesn't quite connect. But still, Isaac ends up with it. And shot down the ice to the blue line by up to Ewan, up to Carson. Carson, he's got Carter. Carson with the shot. Carson knocked down. Oh, good play by Griff to not get that puck. But now we're going to have a 2-on-1 the other direction. And a shot and a save by Zach. Please don't touch my goal. Please skate the other direction. You did. So well saved by Zach there. Griff off the face-off, takes the puck out. Can't quite handle that puck. Now Jack does. Jack's got it. He's going to go in. Hard shot off the defenseman into the corner. Roman's going to try and control it. Back to Ewan. Ewan, shot. Oh, saw Connor to the side of the net there. Didn't quite make it to him. Connor's battling the corner. He's knocked off the puck. He falls. Need two on the puck here on the power play, fellas. Jack's on. Luckily the player can hit. Connor, you got to get on that. Jack, you got to go get that. Jack's going to pick it up. He's going to go back to Connor, who's not there. And we are even now. Even. And we have an icing all the way down the ice by the Raiders with 11:28 left in the third period. 4-3 for your Osgood Romans. There's that face-off play again. Didn't work last time. Actually resulted in a goal for the Romans, but this time was a little more successful. Dances around Max with the pass. And ultimately ends up in a goal. 4-4. Tie game. So after that goal, it's 4-4. With 11:16 left in the third period. Face off won by the Romans. Max off the boards to the Raiders player. Raiders player passes to the Raiders player, which is who you want to pass to. Lucas knocks him off the puck. 3 shots allowed off that in front of the net. No goal. Again, no goal calls, even though the puck ended up in the back of the net, but I think that whistle was blown a long time before that. So if you're just joining us, prior to now, there had been 2 goals called off. All 3 appropriately called off, I would say. If they're not goals, they're not goals, folks. That's just the way life goes. Here we go again, battling and bouncing in front of the net. Zach down. He's got it covered. Nobody is going to push them off. Well done by Zach there. Get a new set of troops out to try and clear this puck out of the zone. Off into the corner. Back to the point. Carson dances around Carson. Doesn't dance around Jonah. And now it's up to Carson. Over to Jonah. Or Isaac, I mean. Jonah still ends up with the puck somehow on his stick. Shot by Isaac. Oh, just off the side of the net. That was an interesting one. Some interesting puck bounces this third period. Carson's got it now. Passes to nobody there, but Dean keeps it in. He trips. Who knows tonight, folks? And then back down in we got icing. With 10 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third period. Out to take the draw, Connor, Jack, and Griff with Ewan and Wesley. Face off. One, but controlled by the Romans. We got him coming back. He's going to come in and try and save by Zach. Well done, Zach, to save that. Face off one, controlled by the Romans. A shot right out to the defenseman, and Zach again says, forget this, I'm covering it. I want you guys to do something different next time. And the Romans will have that chance. Again, saved by Zach, covers it up, and okay, well, we're going to get a Romans power play here after West told the other player, I don't like you doing that in front of my net. After the last time, there was about 4 hacks at the goalie, but it's life. It's the way hockey works. So now the Romans are going to try and kill off a penalty here with 9 minutes and 49 seconds left in the third period of the tie game at 4-4. Face off one, controlled by the Romans. Lucas comes around the net with it. He's going to shoot off the boards and not out. Controlled on the half wall by the Raiders. He's going to dance into the middle. Max knocks it off the stick. Max gets it, shoots it off Carter's feet into the corner. Max keeps him contained behind the net. Lucas off his skate. Max just back to the point. Hard low shot. Just misses the net. Max. Through the crease, saved by Zach. Sorry, not Max. Max is the defenseman, Zach the goalie. Lucas kicks it up, and I'm trying to hit those Romans coaches there tonight with that puck. Second time that's down out there. So, got it 4 new penalty killers on the ice now. Always good to change when you can on a penalty kill. We got Jonah and Eric. Face off one, but picked up by Jonah and outskipped by Jonah. The Raiders are going to come and circle back right here. There's Eric. He wins that puck back into the corner. Dean's got it now. Oh, hooked off the puck there. Behind the net. Hit by Jonah. There. Lots of things happening out here, folks. And Zach controls the puck, knocked down by Brody in front of the net, and that's kind of what you need to do when there's players batting away at that puck. Make them know that they are not welcome there, but do so cleanly. So 8:33 left, 44 seconds left. Faceoffs. Everything hasn't even changed yet, and the puck's been dropped. So here we go. 5-on-4 still. Raiders have their penalty kill set up, and there's Dean. He's going to fire it down the ice. Only one of you guys needs to go after that. Now there's 2 relatively deep. Let's back up here a bit, fellas. Back up a bit more, Carson. Okay, now back up, Isaac. Good. That's a well-coordinated forecheck on the penalty kill. As much as you need to do. And shot down into the corner. 2 Dean, and shoots it right back. Shift past Isaac. Isaac into the corner. We got 3 players here. Nobody there. 1 second left. And even now, Price will jam it in. And Ewan's there, moves that puck out of the way. Not quite sure how that's straight out, but Dean loses the puck. Dean's had a long shift here. Into the corner, into the zone, behind the net. Dean's going to try and win it off. Dean's just got to get this puck out, I think. And there's Isaac. He does. Tripped up, no call. I'm not entirely convinced he wasn't tripped by Dean by accident there, to be honest with you. Back to Ewan. Over the left. Dean might be playing forward now. I'm not sure. No, we got 3 defensemen. Okay. There we go. Oh, we need 1 defenseman on the ice, fellas. You gotta have a player. There we go. And now Ewan's going to pick it up. He's going to have an offside. There's a lot going on in that shift, folks. Lots of different things happening, but ultimately, at the end of the day, Romans are no worse for wear. It's still 4-4 with 6:49 left in the third period. Face off. Not controlled by anybody over in the half ball here. Picked up by Lucas. Lucas bangs it back down into the zone. Romans are going to be in pursuit of that, led by Connor and then Jack. Now, Jack's going after that puck. Got Connor up on the wall here. Oh, can't quite get that. Oops, sorry, I was really way over here. You see Connor. Oh, you're sitting with your head down. Oh, no penalty there. And Connor's there with the puck. He's going to stick. Yep, we're going to call that one. So with 5:58 left in the third period, we got the referee explaining something to the Raiders bench who were asking for a penalty on that one, but no penalty was called. Face off one, back to Brody. Carter tries to get it. Back to Dean. Dean. Hard shot off the shoulder. And now one out by the Raiders. Dean's on that puck. He chips it out. Back to Bryce. Bryce carries it up. He's got some numbers here. He's going to be knocked into the corner. And still got the puck behind the net. And now won back by the Raiders player. Carries it up the boards. And shoots it around behind the net to his defense partner. And checked there by Carter. And going the other direction. Eric in pursuit. Chips it up. And now we've got the Raiders breaking this puck out to the zone. Just 5 minutes left even now in the third period. A 4-4 tie and dumps the puck into the corner. Behind the net, deep check by Brody. Evades that check and just the last minute to avoid that. Carter's going to hit that player in the corner. Shot off. The Romans has clearly been coached to no longer allow players to have a free pass in front of their net, and that's clearly the case now. Eric, he's coming up with the puck here. He's hit against the boards. Good check there. Carter comes up with it. Good check there. Carter chips it around, but nobody there as we had two left side defensemen play. Eric plays a check. Ooh. That player almost was on the wrong end of that one. Lucky for him. There's a nice check by Isaac. And there goes West. And dumps it into the corner. Even going. Carson's going to go and dance around that player. After he tried to make a check up to Isaac. Handles that wall on his backhand. Isaac in. And he's going to drop it to the Raiders defenseman. Carson zigged, and Isaac was hoping he was on his side. Now we got 2-on-2 the other direction. And a good attempt at a one-timer there. Didn't work. West knocks that player off the puck. Up to Connor. Connor, he sees Carson. Nice pass to Carson. Carson is at the end of a shift, but still at the puck. Ewan controls that puck here. Now he's got Isaac. Isaac still's got it. Isaac over to Carson. Just missed the hard post. Isaac knocks that player off the puck. Connor's going to go in. He's going to knock that hit off the puck. Connor. Back to Ewan. Ewan shoots it wide. Wes in on it. Carson keeps it in. We got two players changing. Carson's had quite a extended shift here. Now we're going to carry the puck out. We got Jack, got a different set of line here. As Connor got out early and ended up changing as well. Wes controls the puck in front of the net. 2:43 left in the third. Wes can't contain that player. And he's going to be, and Jack's going to go down the other direction now. He's got some speed. Oh, just off the outside of the post. Oh, two of those guys go in there and they're trying to hit Jack, but Jack comes up. And where Bryce comes up the puck, we've got Griff. Griff in the corner. Griff's knocked down. We got Bryce. Lucas has it. Lucas and kept in by Bryce. Lucas now back. Lucas picks up the puck. He's going to chip it off the boards to Griff. Knocked off the puck. Well pursued there by Jack. And up the ice with under 2 minutes left in the game now. And jumped into the corner, picked up by Max. Max chips it around, nobody there. And now tips it over to Griff. Griff back to Max. Max is going to wire it. Limit here. Hopefully Jack can get there on time. There's Lucas. Nice attempt at Griff. And back to Lucas. He's going to try and do this himself. Lucas tried to pitch him off the puck. Picked up by Eric. They come carried into Roman zone. Into the corner. Backs over to Lucas. Lucas up to Carter. The Carter had moved off the boards, and now we have 1 minute to play in the third period. Lucas gets that puck. And there goes Max. He's going to ice the puck, it looks like. No icing. Didn't quite make it. Hard enough to get over the line. And now they're going to break it up. Back to Max. Max to Lucas. Lucas knocked off the puck. Guys, got to get it out here, fellas. You know you have 30 seconds left in this game, and it's time to keep the puck out of your zone. That's again for the Pirates. Roman's parents calling for a penalty. But don't get it. There goes Carter. He's going to try. No. Oh, Carter is going to stay down. He's got to get up, buddy, and get back. With this much time left in the game, there's shipped off by Dean. Carson's going to go for one last chance. He's got to shoot. And we are going to end up with a very spirited 4-4 tie. Some of the Raiders players not happy with that tie. And Romans. There's a lot of back and forth that game, a lot of things happening there, and at the end of it all, we finished like we started, with the same score on the board for each team. Special thanks to all of our fans across the country and worldwide for tuning in tonight. Handshake's done. We will sign off until the next Osgood Richmond Romans hockey broadcast.